Now we'll do basic R package creation. So it will be a very base level package creation exercise wherein you'll just understand what are the basic processes to be followed. Obviously the intention over here is just to see how a package is created. The usability and whether the package really is complicated, that depends on you, and whether you want to build multiple functionalities in the same package. So what we will do right now is we'll go ahead and create this package. So first of all, you will need to understand what a package is. Basically, a package is nothing but a predefined user defined use for all. So it's something like function, but it's packed into a folder. It has a specific structure which can be used by everyone, right? So to build it in the Windows environment, you will have to first create a basic structure of the folder in the Windows environment also. See that under documents this is where your library files are. So this works for us, so we'll be keeping it over here only. So first of all, you will need something called as R tools. So I'll just show you how to do that. So you'll have to go on cran. So on cran you have to type cran say wr dash, so it's already there over here. So cran project.org bins windows R tools. Now if you're using an version greater than 3.2, you will use r233.exe from this link. So if you are using anywhere between 3.1 to 3.2 R version, so you'll be using r32.exe. you will have to click over here and download this exe first, right, which I have incidentally done. It's more than 120 MB file, so that's already in my location over here. You can see r233, and then you will just do a double click and say a run, right. Once you do that, it will ask you for this thing, say yes, okay, right, and you'll see something like this. It will do the installation of our tools collection, Sigwin, and all those things. Say next. Now this location where you want to install this, you need to check that also, right, where you want to install this. So you typically want this installed in your program files R tools. So if you have installed your base R in this location, that is program files, this is where you will keep it. If you have program files under Windows 64, so I'll just show you that. So you have C, so programs x86. So if you have your R in x86, then you will have to accordingly make these changes. But right now, as you can see, my R is basically sitting in program files, that's over here. So obviously I'll install the R tools also in this location only. Okay, so program files, R tools, and then say in next. You will make sure that based on your bits. So if you're using an old laptop which has a 32-bit configuration, you'll select this. If it's 64, you'll select this, and the rest of them has to be kept as it is because that's required, and then you'll say next. For the R64-bit, it will say C:/R64. You need to keep this as it is. If it is 32, it will say R32, and then you'll say next, right? And then you need to make sure that this is check mark, okay, and say next, and say next again, and next, install, and your installations will start. So it will just dump all these installation files on your machine. Okay, so it's extracting those files over there. It should take around 2 minutes. Once this is done, what we need to do is we need to just check for the path setting in the Windows environment, which you know that when you're working on Java files and all those things, you have to edit the path, right? So some things might be already there, something you might need to change. So as you can see on the screen, so you see something on the sample edit path entry, right? That's where one of the aspects, like most probably when you're doing it for the first time, so you will see c colon slash program file slash r tools slash bin. This will come by default. C colon slash program files r tools gcc 4.6.3 slash bin will also come by default, but the next one, that is c colon slash program files slash r slash 3 slash r dash 3 point whichever is the version, so in my case it is 3.2.3, this path won't be there, right? So the first time when you're doing this, you have to set this edit path. So once we're done with this, we'll be doing that. So in the meanwhile, while this is happening, we'll just go to the previous slide. Previous slide. A slide previous to this one again. Okay, yeah. So this should take again 5 more minutes. So in the meanwhile, what we can do is we can just start typing the basic function which we want to call in R, right? So let's do that, but it's better if we just let this complete first, the R tool setup and all those things, and then post that it makes sense to actually start accessing your RStudio. So just give me a moment, because we need to create a skeleton of the function, the package. So post this, what we'll be doing is we'll be just getting into the uh, Windows path setting. We'll set that and then we'll come back over here. Right, so we are going to iterate a little bit on these screens to and fro. So let's start typing the code so that we can utilize the time, so that can happen in the background. And the meanwhile, we'll just open up this and start typing what we want to do in R. So we can create it, but we'll require first a package stats. That's part of the functionality, so we are going to call that within this. And then I'm saying factorial, right? And you are saying a user defined function, so that goes the dot fn, and you're saying that write a function with the parameter x, and over here writing some functionality. So you're saying if x is equal to 0, then you're saying return the value as 1, right? Else, right? So you can write an else statement over here as functionality again as return x multiplied by factorial dot fn. So you again calling the same function within this, and over here you're saying x minus 1, so it's going to call itself recursively. That's the end of the function. And then you need to pass some data also. You're just making a package, so you're making sure that this data is also provided. Now you need to concentrate more on the steps of package development rather than the actual functionality. So I'm saying package dot skeleton, and this will create the skeleton for this package, saying list, wherein you're saying go to C, in which you're passing A as an object which you have just created above this in the R norm, and then you're saying name is equal to, so you're giving a name to your package, firstpkg. Now obviously you'll require the root for the same, right, which you incidentally haven't done. So what we'll do is we'll go over here, and in your over here in your documents, you'll create a new folder called as, say, first package, right? Okay, now just check what has happened to the setup of our tools. It's still running, right? So it should take some more time. So you can see the creating directory, description, namespace, help files, and all those things. Now if you go back over here, you'll see in first package this is created. This is something similar to a package which you would see, but obviously this is not deployed, right? Because this is in documents, you'll have to deploy this, right? So that's what you're going to do, but for that our tools has to compile first, so we're just waiting for that. In the meanwhile, what we can do is we can just go ahead and make a little bit of changes in these. So you can have a look over here, you can just read this, right? So this gives you some steps what you have to do. So you basically have to do a command build, so a deployable package. I'm just closing this. The description, just have a look on the description also. So this is how the description is. So first package title. So what does the package do? So I can just type over here as to what the package does. So I can give a brief description that this is my first package, version remains as it is, and who wrote it. So I can say this is the author, that's Mohan Rai, and who is going to actually maintain this package. So I can say, okay, this is Mohan Rai again, and you can say how can you reach me, right? So that would be Mohan, or you can say my email ID 122, and you can say at yahoo.com. so this would remain over there. So if you have any doubts, you can revert to the author and give a brief description as to what this does. So I'm just writing in one line that this helps you to create a factorial of whatever you're passing, and what is the license type. So I'm saying it is available to all general public license, so I'm saying GPL, something like that, version 2, right? Okay, and then I just say Control S, so this is saved. And similarly you have the namespace also. You can have a look at that file also. So it's export pattern, go in man, you have the file which is A. If you double click over here, this is how it is. Now it has name, alias, doc type, title. Now you can make some edits if you want, so I'm not getting into details over here. You can just use for reference the file which is already shared with you as a content. So you can say that this is to generate 100 variables or variates of a normal distribution, something like that. And you can give furthermore description about this data. So description could be this generates a R norm, that was the function we used over there. Now, this is for other people who don't have any idea about what is the functionality, right? And then these details, source, whatever you want to write, you can type it over here. I'm not going further, I'm just saving this and exiting. So any other user can easily see this. And okay, our tool setup wizard done, so I'm saying finish. Now we'll just go into this part and go in task manager. And then okay, not in task manager, just one sec. And say command prompt, no, command prompt is for later. You will go into settings, control panel is the best thing, so I'm going through that thing. So systems and security, in that you'll click on system, advanced system settings, and then environment variables, and then you will check for the path. So this is the path, say edit over here. Now it's a very long string, so we can just say control C and paste it anywhere wherein you can actually see what is the content. So I'm just using the R text editor for this. So this is anyway not of any use to us now, so I'm just pasting it over here. And I'm going on the first part. Usually this should be goes reverse order. So this is R tools bin. Now this you have on your screen. C:program files are, if you come back to this part, you can see over here that this is coming here by default. For others, say in my case, the C:program files are R3.2.3/bin/x64 is there, but in most of your cases this part won't be there. So you'll have to insert this patch over here manually, right, and then say save and exit, right? Not in this case, in the settings itself. So you'll have to insert this over here. So you'll have to just go back, see if that part is there. This last part is there on your screen, and you can just push it over there, say an OK and an OK, and just leave out. So once that is done, that means the path setting is done. And then what you need to do is you need to just basically close all of these things right, and I'm closing everything now, and go to your command prompt. So you can say control R, run the cmd. So that's where you will come. Now you need to just change the cd to the path, right? So it will be documents cd, again it will be the package folder. So it was first package. So once you're in over here, you'll type R cmd, that is command build, and this will be what the first pkg, right? So you press enter. Now this will build the package for you. So that will be a dot file. So you see the building first pkg1.tar.gz. this is what you need to do next. So in the next phase, what we are going to do is we are just going to again run R cmd, but in this case we are saying install, okay, first, and you need to remember what was there. So it was an underscore, right? So first pkg, so you can say pkg underscore 1.0.tar.gz, right? So on your screen it is shown that it's a first pkg.1, but be careful, it should be first pkg underscore 1, right? And then you'll press and enter. So now this will do the deployment, right? So you see building package done, so it's ready for us to be used. So what we are going to do is we're just going to call this and just going to see if we can load this in RStudio. So just calling your RStudio again, and once you come back over here, you'll see, just try to refresh this once and then say fi. So you can see the first package which you had deployed over there, it's here. You can just click over here and that library is now loaded, right? So you can also have a look over here by saying first package, so you can see this package and it says the factorial. So now the package is there for you to use, right? So this is how you'll use it, and if you remove it, it's detached, right? So that's about package development.